Angelina Jolie is looking back at what led to her breakup with Brad Pitt.
It was a very difficult time.
Obtained by ET, Angie's asking for $33,000 in legal fees and revealing the emotional fallout of their split, calling it extremely painful and traumatic.
We all have times in our lives where we feel broken.
When Angelina Jolie opened up her court filings this month, fans were hit with a shock they didn't expect. She wasn't just talking about her divorce from Brad Pitt, she was revisiting the pain that still follows her years later. In her own words, the world's most glamorous actress confessed that she hasn't set foot on their shared French estate, Château Miraval, since painful events tore her life apart. Just hearing her describe that place as a trauma site had people gasping. This wasn't just a breakup anymore, it was a battlefield that changed everything for her. But before we dive deep into the tears, drama, and messy court battles, make sure you hit that like button. It helps more than you know. And drop your thoughts below. Do you think Angelina is finally ready to expose everything that went down behind those castle walls? Because from what's surfacing, this story is about to get real dark, real fast.
He writes in a personal declaration submitted to a California court October 9th and obtained by E! The events leading to my need to separate from my ex-husband were emotionally difficult for me and our children. She continues, to this day, the children and I have never again set foot on the property, given its connection to the painful events leading to the divorce.
The Château Miraval estate wasn't just a property, it was a fantasy. 1,200 acres of French countryside, rolling vineyards, a private chapel, even a lake. This is where Brad and Angelina said I do back in 2014. The place was supposed to represent love, peace, and the family they built together. But now, it's basically a graveyard of memories. Angelina said in legal documents that she's never returned there, not once, since she walked out in 2016. She called it a reminder of painful events. And let's be honest, if the walls of that chateau could talk, they'd be screaming by now.
Following a transatlantic flight with Pitt and their kids, during which she alleged that the actor verbally and physically assaulted her and one of their children. Pitt has denied the allegations. In her call was one of the first major investments we made together, and it was a focal point of our family life. We were married there. I spent part of my pregnancy there, and I brought our twin children home there from the hospital. To have
insiders say the estate became a war zone long before the lawyers showed up. One minute, it was family barbecues and fairy tale weddings. The next, it was cold silence, slammed doors, and private fights that never made the headlines. According to people close to the situation, the tension inside Miraval was brutal. Angelina felt trapped, while Brad allegedly became controlling, especially over the winery business that made them millions. What once symbolized their love became the ultimate reminder of power struggles and broken trust.
She writes in her declaration, as the mother of our children, as well as an advocate for victims of violence around the world, I found his demand extremely painful.
So, when Angelina left in 2016 after their split, she didn't just walk away from a marriage, she walked away from the entire life they built. She even claimed she left control of their homes, including Miraval, to Brad without asking for a cent. That's right. No buyout, no fight, no payout. She said she did it just to reduce conflict, to keep things calm for the kids. But here's the twist. Brad didn't see it that way.
On Monday, she filed a court docs for the never-ending court battle brought by Pitt. He sued the actress after she sold her stake in the French winery, which was purchased during their marriage without his approval to a company named Stoli. Jolie denies she needed Pitt's approval to sell her shares. This is where it all comes down to. Pitt recently asked that Jolie produce a series of private emails she exchanged with her team as part of the standard discovery process where parties exchange documents litigation. Jolie opposed the request, claiming the messages are covered by attorney-client privilege and she doesn't have to turn them over.
Fast forward to 2021, and the Château Miraval drama exploded again. Angelina decided to sell her share of the estate to a businessman connected to the Stoli Group, the company behind a luxury vodka brand. Brad lost it. He sued her, claiming she'd gone behind his back and violated a legal agreement that said neither of them could sell their stake without the other's approval. Sounds fair on paper, right? But Jolie fired back hard. In her words, it wasn't a business betrayal, it was survival. She said she needed financial independence and wanted to cut all ties to the man who caused her emotional pain. Now here's where it gets wild. Angelina's legal team revealed that when she tried to sell her part of Miraval, Brad's side allegedly demanded she sign a gag order, a legal NDA that would stop her from speaking publicly about abusive behavior she claimed happened back in 2016. She refused. And that refusal, she says, is what made him furious. So this isn't just about wine or money, it's about silence and control. That's what makes this drama so messy, because every new document feels like a piece of their broken puzzle.
Quote, I need to remove all stress. I honestly feel I am getting sick from worry.
Focus is finding this way through.
Behind the polished Hollywood smiles, things got ugly fast. Jolie said she walked away not just from her husband, but from the emotional scars tied to that castle. Sources close to her told reporters she couldn't even bear to look at pictures of Miraval anymore. It reminded her of manipulation, loss, and a version of herself she never wanted to be again. She called it painful, and that word hit deep because you could almost feel the weight of it in her voice. Meanwhile, Brad's side keeps pushing back. He insists the lawsuit isn't personal, it's business. But come on, who's really buying that? The court documents are practically dripping with tension. Angelina's lawyers accused him of being vindictive, saying this entire legal war was designed to punish her for walking away. She claims he's obsessed with control, especially over the chateau that symbolizes everything she escaped from. To her, this fight isn't about ownership, it's about freedom.
You know, to be honest, I've needed to be home more with my family these last years. And in that time, I've become maybe more grateful. So I'm happy to be here. So that's how I'm feeling. Yeah.
And while the lawyers play chess with millions of dollars, the emotional toll is showing. Angelina has become visibly more private, often appearing guarded in interviews. But recently, she cracked that composure. In a rare statement, she admitted she's still processing painful events and said she's focusing on her children and healing. She even revealed that her health was affected by the stress of the divorce. That's when fans started connecting the dots. The chateau, the silence, the trauma, it's all part of one massive emotional scar.
Would be over, that stuff. I wish they'd find a way to make peace. Both, I think that the kids need some stability.
And here's something people don't talk about enough. Miraval wasn't just a home. It was a dream they built together. The winery's success came from both of them. Jolie had creative influence. Brad handled production and branding. Their rosé was even crowned one of the best in the world. But now the same bottles that once represented their unity are reminders of betrayal. Every cork popped at Miraval is like reopening a wound. Sources say Angelina's kids want nothing to do with the estate either. In fact, a few of them have already started dropping the Pitt surname publicly. That small act says a lot. It's like they're trying to emotionally distance themselves from everything tied to the drama. Jolie's team calls this a healing process, but Brad's inner circle allegedly sees it as manipulation. Either way, the family's divided, and it's heartbreaking to watch.
I love the kids, and I love my daughter, and I want Brad to step up to, what he has to do, and end this nonsense.
Now, Brad.
What makes this saga even spicier is the public's split reaction. Some fans are Team Angelina, praising her for protecting her peace and refusing to stay silent. Others are Team Brad, saying she's dragging out a private issue for headlines. But let's be real. When two Hollywood legends clash like this, the truth usually lies somewhere in between. Still, the emotional damage is undeniable. Jolie said in court, "I want peace, not power." That line hit the internet like wildfire.
Angelina Jolie is back, once again, detailing her emotionally difficult divorce with Brad Pitt. And now she's declaring $33,000?
And now, with new filings coming out, she's demanding that Brad reimburse her $33,000 in legal fees. But that number isn't really about the money, it's symbolic. It's her way of saying, you can't break me anymore. And fans noticed. People online are calling this Angelina's emotional victory lap. They say it's her closing the chapter she's been stuck in since 2016. As the court battles rage on, one thing's clear. This isn't just about Château Miraval, it's about reclaiming a story that was taken from her. Angelina's tears aren't weakness, they're release. And when she said, "The chateau holds my trauma," she wasn't being poetic. She meant it. It's a place filled with ghosts of a past she's finally ready to leave behind. So what's next? Insiders believe she's ready to sell off anything tied to that chapter of her life and move forward quietly. Meanwhile, Brad's reportedly living with his new partner, Inés de Ramón, and focusing on his new production projects. But no matter how far he runs, this story follows them both like a shadow. Every legal filing, every quote, every tear, it's another reminder that behind the fame and fortune, there's still heartbreak that money can't fix.
She's clearly mad. She's mad.
At the end of the day, this story isn't just about celebrity drama. It's about how deep love can wound when it turns toxic. Angelina's bravery in speaking up shows that healing is messy, emotional, and public. Whether you're Team Jolie or Team Pitt, it's impossible not to feel something watching this unfold. If you've made it this far, you've probably felt the heartbreak behind her words too. So tell me in the comments, do you think Angelina will ever find closure? Or is the Château Miraval war far from over? Don't forget to hit like if you felt this story, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss the next chapter of Hollywood's wildest ongoing feud.